Tēnā koutou katoa ngā mihi nui. Welcome everyone and hello, ko Carmel Takuingawa. My name is Carmel Riley and I am the founder of Manifestors Unite. It is my mission to help starseeds in particular to manifest with the power of the stars. And I apply a Mataranga Māori overlay which blends in maramataka, the moon calendar, as well as the stars, and some of them are powerful, i.e. the Matariki constellation that a lot of people know about, but there are many others, and so it is my role to help you navigate your mission on Earth by understanding a little bit about your connection with the galaxy. So in this full moon special activation video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what this full moon means, and then I'm going to help you understand it from a Māori context, and then last of all I'm going to give you a practice, and this is the most important part, that will help you to manifest anything that really is true to your heart with the power of the star children. And you might wonder why this funny light is here at the moment. Well, that is because I am bathed in sunlight, winter sunlight. And this is very important to my mission because 90% of the astrology is told from the Northern Hemisphere perspective. So down here in the south, down here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, we have a very different perspective and we look at a very different sky. For example, it is Monday here, whereas it is Sunday for most people who'll be connecting in with me. So I'm going to blend a little bit of our he marama or moon energy into this video, but really what I'm going to get you to concentrate on is your heart. So stick around to the end because I always include the practice at the end. My links are below. In particular, there is a link to our Facebook Live that we ran last night, and that was an interview with galactic astrologer Graham Forsgett from Takaka, New Zealand, so also a countryman, and he gave a lot of detailed explanations of how this full moon is activating all of these planets in our solar system, and light is streaming through the galactic core and coming down to us on Earth, igniting the Merkaba, the ley lines of the Earth that form a star, that form a double pentagram star, and that is very special to us in astrology. So you have this window for 24 hours, which is why I've posted this today, and I look forward to sharing what I have to share with you, starting now. So here is that full moon pentagram that I was talking about. So for us in Aotearoa, the full moon will be at 4:54 tomorrow morning, which is a Tuesday. For the rest of you, it'll be a different time. It'll be in the afternoon probably, if you're 12 hours behind in London, or whatever your time zone is. But it doesn't really matter where you are on the Earth. What you can see here is this diagram. And I really would encourage you to go and check out our live. The link will be below to find Graham. I really encourage you to watch the full interview because I'm not going to go into nearly as much detail here. I'm just really going to summarize the energies of the full moon, and then I'm going to give you a practice so you can really activate this for the last remaining hours, but also a practice that you can carry forward. Okay, so essentially here we have, here's the galactic center, and that is 27 degrees for Sagittarius. So if your birthday is around 18 to 21 of December, you're going to know about this. You're a very powerful manifester. I call you the natural super manifester. You can click your fingers and whatever you think about comes to bear, particularly if you have very strong emotions. That's a case for all of us, but it's even more for Sagittarians because they have the power of Te Ikaroa, the Milky Way, or the big galactic center that listens to them. So essentially you can think of the galactic center as the control house of our spiral galaxy and definitely of our solar system. 225 million year cycle, which our Earth does an orbit around within our solar system connected to the sun, a 225 million year cycle. And what is happening in the time-space reality that we're now in is that we're actually very close to lining up with the galactic center, which is why there is such an awareness of the galaxy. It's why we suddenly are seeing all these pictures which astrologers and quantum meditators have and Maori, my Maori ancestors have known about for a long time. We call the galactic center Te Kori, and it is one of the places of the eternal knowingness, nothingness, the indescribable, unfathomable womb of all creation. And so this is essentially being activated and coming down here and onto these star nodes. So you can see these as points of the zodiac year. And the degree that we're talking about for this full moon that's being ignited by this moon, you can see over here, the sun is over here at about 22 degrees of Taurus, and we're earthing this. This is Earth and this is the moon, and they're together because the moon is very connected to the Earth. They once were two planets that collided, and there was a synestia and they pulled apart, so they're always together in helio-astrology or galactic astrology. And you can see this line, 22 degrees of Scorpio, 22 degrees of Taurus. That is 144 degrees away from the galactic center, and that is what is being ignited. So whether you're in the south like myself, where Scorpio is more prevalent, even though we're on the zodiac calendar with the sun down here in Taurus, because we're on the opposite side of the earth and we're looking at the sky upside down, it does not matter. What I really want to point out with this is Te Kori, Te Ikaroa, these huge trillions and trillions and trillions of stars, when they open and cast through starlight to us, generally only one of these other points might be activated. But in this case, you can see Graham has helpfully highlighted the planets that are also on these nodes. We have Pluto, which is for loss and transformations, Mercury, which is for communications. We have down here, we've actually got Venus coming in here. And again, this is very different to geocentric, which looks at the sun and the planets, the path, the planets that are orbiting the sun along with the earth from our geo perspective. This elevates us up to the sun, so we essentially get very big differences for Venus, Mercury and Mars, and obviously the moon as well. So we are seeing this huge activation down here, Jupiter, I left out Jupiter, right down the bottom at about 29 degrees of Gemini. So if you have birthdays around these times, if you have planets around these times, you may not be aware of what is happening, but essentially we are being activated. In addition to that, these other planets where there are being forms or life being forms, they're all being activated. So it's a collective powering up or coding, which is why it is so important for us to understand it. From our Maori culture, we have a little bit of a different spin. We observe Te Ikaroa as the place of, or the Milky Way as the place of where all our ancestors are, unless you're from another galaxy like me. It's a karena where our ancestors, my whetū tupuna, are from a very long way away. But if you have a earth resonance, if you have earth whakapapa that you're connected to, and this is very easy to find out by just a little bit of meditation work, it all comes back to the meditation, you can actually tune in and find your whetū whakapapa and find the places where your ancestors are resting in the sky. So for that portal to be open and be streaming onto earth and powering up into this other sacred Māori constellation, I got to point out here, the Milky Way, Scorpio and Sagittarius are southern constellations, which is why they're so dear to our heart and why we view them as with such reverence, why they're considered to be tapu or divine, and that is something all of us can apply. But particularly if you look at the Milky Way, it's a huge big fish over above us, and that's what we look up to remember. So we are really looking into this. We can really see Scorpio and Sagittarius, so we can really feel the presence of this light upgrade. And I just got to point out here, Graham has so helpfully given us the Dek Adon, the BDNA. He's very helpfully given us the BDNA, which is the most evolved form of our DNA, which mimics the shape. Look here, the shape here of the BDNA, and the shape here, which is represented by all of these planets, these asteroids. We've got the quantum leaping asteroid Autria being activated, and then we've got ourselves down here. Here we are on Earth looking up at the Milky Way, and that is you as Well, so in the Maramataka, we are in the month where Matariki, these stars down here, and I haven't mentioned Matariki, I'm going to have to mention them as well. Here's Pleiades down here. There's so much to cover. So the Pleiades are in the Taurus constellation, which is where the sun is at the moment. You can see here that activation, this node down here, 22 degrees of Taurus, which is for us today, tomorrow, and this again being activated by the full moon. It's also activating Pleiades, which is the Matariki constellation. Right now for us, in most places in Aotearoa, the Matariki has disappeared under the horizon. We're waiting for Matariki to appear. It'll appear from about June through to about July of this year, and that for us marks Maori New Year, when we remember our ancestors, when we gather with our whānau, when we eat, when we celebrate life, when we are thankful for the kai. So this is how we practice it, and we have a national holiday in Aotearoa, which is known as Matariki. I am covering a lot here, but I really want to get us into this point. We are in this point, it's called Haratua. It's the dark place. We're in a dark place. We're waiting for these constellations to come up. In the galactic chart, however, with this full moon, the activator, the insight, the illumination, he marama means insight or illumination, as well as the moon. We are waiting for this illumination, this rako nui, the full moon, and it is activating this power, this light of the galactic center, which we have here. So we are waiting, and this is the bit that I really love to get into the most. So Graham also taught us about, well, he gave us the measurement for the heart's resonance, and I explained that a normal heart, a normal beating heart, is providing about 100 photons of light. Well, a meditating heart is providing about 5,000 photons of light. So because we are in a spiral galaxy, and because what I have shown you are the codes for igniting the spiral galactic energy of the stars, but you are also a spiraling divine golden ratio, and you can be so even more with 5,000 times the amount of normal energy when you meditate. So I'm going to give you my favorite meditation, and I'm going to precede it by just firstly reading this karakia, which is very dear to me and represents the stars, and then I am going to chant it in the wahine or woman, the tradition that my ancestors, my female ancestors, would chant, and then I will go straight into the meditation. So time to kick off your shoes, time to pump your heart, the time to come inside and take a big deep breath, give yourself a little bit of energy medicine, a little rub, fire up your zeal point, your plutonic occipital chakra. Just flick those shoulders, drains the lymphs here, and just coming into this karakia. I'll read it first in English and then we'll go into it in Te Reo Māori. Here we go. The unlimited void, the ceaseless night, the spaciousness, the light of the stars of the night. To the world of the four winds, you are the spark that ignites the world of light. Behold life. Ka te kuri, ka te poi, ka te au, ka te rangi whetuati, ki te anui ngā hou e whā, ki te whaia, ki te ao marama, ki te whaia, ki te ao marama, ki te whaia, ki te ao marama. Tihi hei, Maori ora. Thank you. So just closing your eyes if you choose, or open, doesn't really matter. Coming into your heart, You are the spark that ignites the world of light. As you come into your heart center, bring in anything that comes into this moment that you choose to spark with eternal, spiraling, golden, galactic power, with the power of Tikuri. And then ask the star children for their blessings. Bring into your heart's desire. First, there is desire. Then there is an act that confirms to you that your wish is fulfilled. A tiny act that you know, the signing of a contract, the kiss on the lips, the lighting of a candle, the sharing of a call with a loved one, the embrace of a lover. Then there is an act. And lastly, there is the dream. And this is the dream space with 5,000 beating photonic stardust kisses. Expand your love beyond this earth ship as you draw down and down, deeper down than you've ever been before, with the power of this full moon igniting into the earth's Merkaba, feeling the power of Papatu Anuku. Placing your heart's desire, Arohamai, Aroha'atu. And as love is given, love is returned to you, anchoring down, safer than you've ever been before, ignited, feeling around you the lights of the star Merkaba, our earth ship ignited, reaching out the tendrils out into the galaxy, the ceaseless night, reaching out to those planets, Pluto, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, love, sun, reaching into the sun, with your heart grounded here now, behind you, pushing out as far as you can to someone, someplace, something you love. Hold, push, deepen an anchoring point of light. Your consciousness is the light, anchoring your desire. First, there is your desire. Then there is an act that confirms an embrace, a signing, a door opens, a kiss on the lips, the holding of a baby, feet on the grass, feet on the sand, anchoring in. First, there is an act. And then, first, there is an act. And then the dream, here is the dream. Coming back to the heart and pushing forward through you, the light, the photonic light, the sacred spiraling cones, as far as you can ahead of you, to some place you love, someone you love, something you love, anchoring here now. First, there is the desire. Place your desire here. Amplify your desire in the light of the universe, the light of Te Kore, the light of the Milky Way, Te Ikaroa, the light of your ancestors, the light of your heart anchored here now. First, there is an act that confirms the wish is fulfilled. The softness of water trickling overhead, a swim in the sea and high ocean, a breeze in the meadow, a golden green meadow. Anchor your desire here in the golden green light. Release any stuckness, release any grief, forgive what must be forgiven for you to transcend, coming back to the heart and holding. And here, shifting this Merkaba, as if you're standing on a gold star, as if you were feeling the star children calling to you. Tamariki pepe, tamariki pakiki, tamariki kuya, kaumatua. Aroha mai, aroha atu, as love is given, love is returned to you. And we pause as we shift a little to the left, maybe back a bit, a few steps, till you are bathed in this light as I am. Little one. Look up and receive from above Imagine in consciousness, Te Kairoa, the Milky Way that opens with the entire light of our solar system, the galaxies beyond, the galaxies of grandmothers, the grandmother galaxies. They hold hands as the dead, as the fetu. The dead are the fetu. The dead are the stars they twinkle. They are cheering you on. The ancestors are cheering you on, beaming down through Te Kuri, the Akash, down to you here. There is no separation in the heart. The tendrils of your love, the tendrils of your desire expand all around you. They expand, and the ancestors cheer you on. Into the sun, bring the sun into your third eye and let the sun burn away any resistance, any fear, lack, doubt, faulty thinking. Clear this away, super manifestor. Let the light of Te Kuri, all of those ancestor stars coming through you, to you, around you, and in you, encapsulating your desire, fulfilled as the wish in your heart. Here, now, forever, it is done. Take a breath. Put your feet on the ground. Come back to the world. Maori ora! Happy full moon, peeps. If you liked that, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more galactic transmissions, particularly on the new moon and the full moon and all these Merkaba star activations. Maori ora.